understand where we are in history, right?
Mhm.
In history, in the past, if you wanted to start a business, you needed a big bank loan, you needed a building, you needed, if you wanted to make any sort of money outside of a job, you needed this huge capital investment.
Mm.
Today, with $0, not even $40, with zero nothing, you can start to use your knowledge and expertise to generate money online.
Mm. Yeah.
So one of the first things I tell people about today is you don't need to wait for anyone to give you experience. If
Mm.
nobody hires you, just hire yourself.
Yeah, yourself. Mm.
Hi there, welcome to FiatVault podcast, brought to you by FiatMatch. FiatMatch is a soon-to-be launched international money transfer marketplace. Through FiatVault's bi-weekly episodes, we'll be inviting guests to share tips, insights, advice, and inspiration that you need to consistently grow your finances. We want you to make that money. We want you to earn more. We want you to grow your wealth. We want you to be successful financially. I mean, for you to be able to send money back home, you need to have enough money, right? Yeah, so that's the whole essence of FiatVault. We want you to have all the tools and the knowledge you need to grow your finances. This is our debut episode, and we are starting with a series titled Career and Money. It's basically a series of topics where our guests share tips to help professionals earn better and build a healthy financial life. Once again, I welcome you to FiatVault. Today, we have our very first guest, Tobi Oluwole. I'd like us to go right into asking him questions and getting his insights and tips. But before then, I'd like to just give a brief introduction. Now, Tobi Oluwole works as a merchant success manager with Shopify Plus, where he acts as a strategic partner to Shopify Plus merchants. Before his current job, he worked at different companies as a sales account executive. Tobi is also the co-founder of the 3 Skills, where he alongside his team are creating the world's most employable candidates by teaching them how to communicate their value. Awesome stuff, isn't it? So if you are listening, I'm sure you can't wait to hear everything that Tobi has to share with us. So let's jump right into it. Once again, Tobi, you're welcome to FiatVault.
So, my name is Tobi Oluwole. Grew up in Lagos for the first 8 years, and then we moved around Belgium, the US, back to Nigeria, and then I moved to Canada in 2010 as an international student. I actually really wanted to go to England, but my dad was like, I've already paid school fees in Canada. It's definitely the best decision ever. So I moved to Canada. I studied international business at Carleton University. And then I graduated in 2016. So I did a year of high school, 5 years of university, graduated in 2016. And I got into tech sales. So I managed to get into tech sales because, during school, I used to have all these side hustles. And one of the side hustles was selling, these hoverboards that you stand on them, the self-balancing boards. And I had made quite a bit of money with that. And so when I applied to a job, the founder of the company was like, if you can sell hoverboards, you can sell technology
Imagine.
and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And, the whole time I had owned my own companies too. I had a clothing company. We had 3 Skills, which I started at my last job in 2019. Um, so I'd always had, these other things. So in 2020, I applied to Shopify for the 7th time, and I was very fortunate to land a job there. And so I joined
Awesome.
Shopify 2020, and now I'm a merchant success manager. So I work with Shopify brands making $1 million plus, actually now 10 to $25 million. And I just help them continue to grow and get the most out of the platform and the product. So that's
Mm-hmm.
my full-time job, and then I run 3 Skills. I'm a co-founder there. And then I also have another company called TPS, where I teach people how to build profitable side hustles from scratch. So
Mm-hmm.
that's pretty much my career journey so far.
Wow, that's a very interesting story actually, and I think, I mean, there's so much to take from it. For me, I would say a key point I got was how the small businesses and side hustles you were doing in school helped you land your first job. That's a very interesting story. Thanks for sharing. So
No problem.
yeah, I guess now is a good time to ask you this. All right, so the past year and a half has been something like, none of us has ever experienced. It's been challenging, it's been interesting as well, but challenging a lot for many people, for many families, and for many professionals as well. One, why do you think it's important for professionals to begin to evaluate their careers now ahead of 2022?
Um, because the world has changed.
Mm-hmm.
The world has changed. In the past, you stayed with one company for 40 years. The company gave up. That was the plan, right? You go to school, get a good job, stay there till you retire at 65. But the world changed in the past couple of months and past year and a half because people's priorities changed.
Mm,
People saw that, hey, life is short. What, I think almost 5 million people died from COVID.
yeah.
Life is short. Those people had plans. Those
Mm-hmm.
people had jobs. And now people are realizing, like, if I don't make a move and do what I love on a day-to-day basis,
Mm,
then I'm wasting my life.
exactly. Yeah.
And so the reprioritization, in August alone, 4.3 million people quit their jobs. They're calling it the Great Resignation. That was in America.
Mm-hmm.
And it's important to understand that this is the best time in history to do something different from what everybody else is doing. This is the best
Yeah.
time in history to start a side hustle, start a side business. This is the best time in history to look for a new job, to work remotely, because remote work has changed the world. You can work in
Mm-hmm.
France now if you want.
Mm-hmm.
You can just
Yeah.
move after France. You can move to Spain if you want. You can move to Australia if you want, right?
Yeah.
And so people are realizing, like, I don't actually need to be in an office and commuting for an hour and a half to work, and right.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and that's really what I've noticed, right? And my wife used to be a nurse, and she got out of nursing and tried a couple different things, and now she always had these jobs where you had to go to the office. And then recently she landed a job where she works remote, and the quality of life is insane. She'll wake up 9 a.m., walk around, right, go to work, do her work, come down at lunch, put on the TV, go back up, right? We were not built as human beings to work till we're dead. It is not
Mm-hmm.
actually how we were built. It was not the intention that God had for us.
Yeah.
You're built
Totally.
to live your fullest life, to love people, right?
Mm-hmm.
To see the world that God created. So I think that's what's really changed is people realizing, like, listen, life is short. I don't need to suffer until I'm 65 and then retire. I can actually enjoy my life on a day-to-day basis. And then instead of retiring at 65, you can just live a life that doesn't require retirement.
Mm-hmm.
You can live a life you enjoy on a day-to-day basis that doesn't require you to wait 30 years to enjoy your life. You enjoy your life today. And I think that's what's been the biggest change.
Mm. I mean, exactly. Thank you for that. I couldn't agree more. It's really amazing how things have changed. And like you said, the Great Resignation. I think it's all over the world, really. In Nigeria, in Canada, people are resigning. Nobody cares about, okay, what does the future hold for me? They know that they can actually take the step, to build the career they want. That they don't have to be stuck in a job that doesn't pay them well or that doesn't make them happy, that doesn't help them see the world. So yeah, thank you for that. I totally agree with you. already answered my next question. I was going to ask you that what do you think is the reason for the great resignation? And I think you covered that already. So I'm
Yeah.
just going to move on to the next question, which is, so looking at all the things we've spoken about, the great resignation, people saying that they can actually have careers that they love and enjoy. How should professionals evaluate their careers? Like, how should they look at their careers and in turn increase their earning potential in the coming year?
I think we need to change the formula that we use to calculate earnings. So, previously it was
Mm.
just, salary or, total compensation and benefits, bonus, things like that. But again, priorities have changed. So the new calculation must be total compensation plus flexibility plus happiness,
Mm.
right? So
Yeah.
understanding like, okay, yes, you can be earning six figures, incredible. You can be earning, 1 million naira, yes. But how much flexibility do you have? If you have kids, do you have the ability to go pick up your kids after school? Do you have the
Mm.
ability to travel and vacation once a year? Do you have the ability to work remote? How much flexibility are you being offered with this role? I've turned
Mm.
down roles because there was no flexibility, right?
Yeah.
The money
Mm-hmm.
was almost double what I'm making, but my flexibility, we don't know how much it costs because flexibility and uh, the reward, the benefit of flexibility is relative. If I have
Mm.
kids and I want to pick up my kids every day, and that's something I'm unwilling to negotiate
Negotiate.
about,
Mm-hmm.
then I'm not. No amount of money can move that because that is what I need, right? And then
Yeah.
the last one is happiness, and happiness is comprised of different things. Happiness is, are you getting fulfillment from this work? Do you feel challenged, right? Do you
Yeah.
feel like you're making an impact at this work? But also, do you enjoy your leadership team? Do you feel like people believe in you here? Are you do you feel safe enough to take vacation, right? All those things play into happiness, right? Do you believe
Yeah.
in the vision of the company, right? Like, are you on when you wake up in the morning, are you excited to go to work or happy to go to work?
Very important. Mm-hmm.
Very important, right? We no longer have to suffer till 65. 9 to 5 till 65 is dead.
Mm.
So that's pretty much what I would say is it's the total compensation. It's just I say this if you talk to my sister, brother, mom, anybody that has been around me more than a couple of years, they'll hear me say it's just money. It's just money. You're right. Like you can get more money. You can't get more time. You can't get more
Mm.
memories, right? Like you, right? If you miss out on something, you can't go back and say, "Oh, I missed this trip. Let me go back and no, it's just money." So
Yeah.
instead of just focusing on how much are they going to pay me, right? Focus on how much is this going to improve my life.
Mm-hmm.
That is a more holistic view of how to look at your career, especially now.
I mean, that's so true. I think that's an important point. Things have changed. Like, most of us look at our parents, we see how they worked for years, and some of them were not even able to stay back and enjoy all that they work for. I mean, we keep talking about resignate. I'm retiring at 65. Many people don't even get to that age. You practically work and then you don't even have time to enjoy
Yeah.
what you worked so hard for. So I think that's a really important point, like to be more holistic in the way we view compensation, and all that. So thank you for that. So I think what I then want to know, from your point of view, how do you think professionals can then position themselves, to get this kind of jobs, to get into careers, get into companies that, that will give them all of these things, give them the flexibility they want, give them the time they want, give them the right compensation in terms of even the salaries and all that. So how do you think professionals can position themselves for these things?
Yeah, I think it's important to understand where we are in history, right?
Mm-hmm.
In history, in the past, if you wanted to start a business, you needed a big bank loan, you needed a building, you needed, if you wanted to make any sort of money outside of a job, you needed this huge capital investment.
Mm.
Today, with $0, not even $40, with zero, nothing, you can start to use your knowledge and expertise to generate money online.
Mm. Yeah.
So one of the first things I tell people about today is you don't need to wait for anyone to give you experience. If
Mm.
nobody hires you, just hire yourself,
Yeah, yourself. Mm.
right? Because there's no point in waiting for somebody to see your value when this is the kind of world where your value can be amplified by social media from the comfort of your own house,
Yeah.
right? So you
Yeah.
look at people like Kabi Lame that we don't even know what his voice sounds like. Kabi on TikTok, the most followed person in Europe. We don't even know what he sounds like. And he, right, makes people laugh, right? And think
Yeah.
about it. When in history was that possible? For someone
Mm.
to land deals, he just landed a deal with Facebook
Wow.
to as they do their metaverse rollout. How is that possible?
Mm.
If nobody hires you, hire yourself. The second thing, whatever you do, do it consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Don't just do it because, oh, you saw a reward today, so you won't do it tomorrow, or you didn't see a reward today, so you won't do it tomorrow. Do it and continue to do it. And when you're tired, just continue to do it because consistency builds credibility. So even
Very
if
true. Mm.
even if you don't know what you're doing yet, it's okay. Just continue showing up.
Mm.
Eventually, someone will see you as an expert. Eventually, someone will say, let me pay you for the service, for the expertise that you have shown. But you don't find opportunities because you demand them. You actually find opportunities because you output a supply of your talent,
Mm.
right? The Bible
Yeah.
says your gift will make room for you,
Mm.
right? And so it's very important actually that you consistently show up. Just consistently show up. Like when I post on LinkedIn, I've been posting on LinkedIn for the past I don't know how many days, 400 days or whatever. And there are days where I don't even have anything to say right now, honestly. Like if you open my brain, there's nothing inside today. But I'll still find something to post,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because consistency builds credibility. So now, yes, when I get asked, okay, can you come on our podcast? Can you come speak to our team? Can you come train? Yes, I can
Yeah.
do it,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
But I was here long before anyone was paying me to be here.
Mm.
And that's where a lot of people mess it up. They always think, that when I used to run my clothing line, I was looking for a big hit. I was hoping Justin Bieber will wear my stuff, or, like Wizkid would just call me, guy, send me one. That's not, I had there's a book, Atomic Habits, that I love. It changed my life. It says, you see all these people, they get successful, one hit wonder, someone just finds them. Assume you are not that person.
Mm.
So put in the work.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of people are looking for the home run. Just be batting small, small, right? You want to score the goal from halfway, just pass, right? Just do the simple things consistently, and eventually you will be seen as an expert, and people will pay you for your
Mm.
value. And you don't get to determine the timing of your success, but you do get to determine how prepared you are if
Mm.
success comes.
Wow. So many things you've said, I can resonate with them, and I think they are really, really, really interesting, points and all. What you said about being consistent, I think that's one of the major things that people struggle with. Like, once you try something and you probably don't get, I think that's social validation as well. For example, maybe you post on LinkedIn and you consistently do that for, say 3 months, and you're building your personal brand and all that, but your likes are not increasing. You're probably getting 5 likes, 10 likes, and then you see someone else getting 500 likes. I think just having that mindset that it's all about, the validation you get from people and all that can even prevent people from being as consistent as they should. So from what
Yeah.
you said, I think it's really important to just like keep your focus on what you're trying to achieve. You are going somewhere, right? And not just doing it for the sake of doing it. You are building a brand. You know that someday, sometime, one person among your 10 among the 10 people that like your post will probably reach out to you, for you to offer your services. So that's a really, really important point. Thank you, Toby. I mean, it's been interesting talking to you, fun and enlightening, and we're getting to the end of the episode. I don't even want it to end, but um here goes my last question. I want us to focus a little more on new immigrants, or those planning to move to a new country come 2022. I mean, how can they prepare themselves for the job markets out there? How can they begin to evaluate themselves and prepare themselves to get those jobs we've been talking about, have the kind of career they want? I think before you answer, I want to say that before now, when people hear that you're relocating to another country, or they think you're just going to go there to go and be washing cups, work in the mortuary, or be a cleaner. Even if you are earning well in your country, so far you're going to a different country, you have to start from the bottom. But I don't think that's no longer the case. I've seen a lot of immigrants, doing well in their careers and all. So I want to hear from you, just for us listeners who are new immigrants or planning to relocate. How can they prepare themselves for the kind of career they want in those countries?
Yeah. So I had a friend who landed in Canada 2 weeks. He had a job. It was
Wow.
amazing. That's when I knew it was possible. So I know it's possible, and it was a great job, tech job, same job I had that I had been here 8 years. So if you think about it, right, the first thing you have to do is you have to unlearn.
Mm.
When we're coming from these countries, right, you're coming from what success in these countries are often uh, predefined by our parents. I call them lead roles: lawyer, engineer, accountant, doctor,
Doctor.
right? Like these are the roles that lead to success. But it's not true anymore. Yes, they still do. You can be successful after 10 years of med school. How are you going to pay for med school? And do you even like blood? You know?
Yeah.
So the first is you have to unlearn what has determined the past however thousands of years or millions of years on this earth. The rules have changed. And so you must unlearn what success looks like. You must unlearn what path people have determined. There are too many paths now. So the first thing is to unlearn. The second thing is to then relearn.
Mm.
So now you go and research, right? That's why they call it research. You were searching for success. Now you have to research. Like you have to go back and understand what pathways lead me to success. I know two people, they've been working for the same amount of time. One works at a tech company that went public, the other one works at a tech company that stayed private. One made, let's say, $1 million in the past 5 years. The other
Mm.
one made $8 million the same 5 years. Why? Because the vehicle is different.
Mm-hmm.
You're going from VGC to the airport, you take taxi versus helicopter. Same destination, same starting point,
Mm.
different vehicle.
Mm.
So you now have to relearn, research what industries are about to boom. Fintech, FiatMatch, please. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We saw, guys. Is it now that you now want to say, let me go and work in banking? Banking is about to get disrupted. Go and enter fintech.
Very true. Yeah.
Right? So research, understand what are my best odds where if I put 1 ounce of effort, the industry and the market will put 10 for me.
Mm.
Because there are
Yeah.
so many jobs, you put 1 ounce, you collect two, 1 ounce, you collect two. There are some you put one, you collect one. There are
Mm.
even some you put one, you collect half. But there are some that you put in work the next 5 years, and you can land in a place where you have retired your parents. I've seen it with my own two eyes. With my own two eyes, 27-year-old, 3.5 million net worth dollars, because he was in two
Amazing.
companies. One went public, the other one grew to 200 billion, remained private.
Mm.
So it's important to understand, like, first you unlearn. Success has changed. The definition of success has changed. The paths to success have changed. Then you relearn what's actually happening now. You research what's actually happening now, and you take that in. That's why I work in tech, right? I could be working in retail. I could be working in food, restaurant, right? But I know people killing themselves in restaurants, and I know people working in tech that don't work. They work. It's not hard work that gets you rich anymore. Maybe back then, even back then, I don't think it was hard work.
Yeah.
Is actually timing and opportunity.
Mm.
It's timing and
Very true.
opportunity, right? So that's the second one, and then the third is connect. Just
Mm.
connect with people, right? Like me and you, we've met, right? Because
Yeah.
you have connected with somebody, right? And the cool thing, people are like, oh, it's harder to network now that we're, had pandemic. But I say harder. You can
I think it's
connect
easier.
with somebody in America in Facebook at the head, because you just message them on LinkedIn, or you just interact with them on Twitter.
Very
When
true.
has that ever been a case? You have to fly, you have to buy plane, rent hotel, take car to go and meet someone, shake their hand. Today, you put on the video, you've met face to face. I've met more people in the past 18 months than I have in the past 27 years of my life. I kid you not. Two things happened. We
Wow.
bought a house in Canada. We walk into the house. I meet my neighbor. My neighbor is like, "Oh, are you Toby from LinkedIn?" I was like, "What?"
Oh, wow. Interesting. Very interesting.
I was so shocked. And then
Mm.
yesterday I'm driving. I pull up at the red light. Someone in a red BMW pulls up beside me. I look at him. I can tell he's Nigerian, but I'm not trying to engage right now. I don't know these people. So the guy winds down. I wind down. The guy said, Toby. He said, I follow you on LinkedIn. I was like, you can
Oh,
imagine.
yeah.
So, has there ever been a time that you could connect with people that you didn't even know, to a point where you literally, like, it's like you are friends for life, and now
Mm.
you have these opportunities that start to come across your table, right? And how do you connect? You send connection requests. That's one type. The second type is you create content,
Mm.
right? By creating content, people then, that one is even more attractive, because by sending connection requests, you are knocking on doors, right? By
Yeah,
creating content, people are knocking on your own door,
totally. Very true.
right?
Mm.
But both of them can be done from the comfort of your home,
Your home.
from
Yeah.
the safety of your phone, right? So I think those are the biggest things, right? First, unlearn. Second, relearn.
We
Third,
learn, network,
connect.
connect. Mm.
Does that
Wow.
make sense?
So that makes a whole lot of sense. Like, um, I don't even know what to say, because it's so spot on. And I don't think it's just new immigrants or people planning to relocate that will find those tips useful. I think every professional will find that useful. Like, the fact that for you to, advance in your career, increase your earning potential, improve your job, your happiness at your job, you need to unlearn some things, some mindsets, you need to relearn some things, and then you need to forge new relationships by connecting with people. So thank you very much, Toby. Like, wow, it's been a pleasure having you today, especially because you are our very first guest. I think that's so interesting, and I'm really happy to have you here. And I look forward to having you again, sometime soon. Thank you so much for your time.
No
And
problem.
if you have any other thing to say, I mean, you can still say it, like just a last word concerning the topic as a whole, how to evaluate your career and increase your earning potential. Do you have any other thing you want to say before we just round up?
Honestly, I would just say, just show up and keep showing up. Be consistent. Forget don't compare yourself to anybody. Yes, people are doing better than you. Yes, people are doing worse than you. You
Yeah.
just run your own story. Your journey is your journey. Nobody can replicate your story. So just show up consistently, and eventually you will get to a destination.
Thank you. Thank you very
Oh wow, that was a great episode. I learned so much from Toby, and I actually enjoyed chatting with him, asking him those questions, and getting all that he had to say. Now, if you found it as interesting as I did, then I would recommend that you share with your friends. Also, remember to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.